Toyota makes hybrid, hydrogen and battery electric vehicles for all sorts of people. And we're not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters. Toyota.
Thank you so much. Solar Challengers friends and followers, welcome to you all to this, the awards ceremony for the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. And again, we are being streamed live on the internet, and from the social media feeds, I'm told there is a great deal of interest in this function from around the world. But you're here, so that's even better. So wherever you are, wherever you're watching us, welcome to the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge family. And with so many countries and so many cultures represented, it's only fitting that we too acknowledge that we meet on the traditional lands of the Ghana people and respect their spiritual attachment to country. A couple of weeks ago, at the commencement of this event, 3,000 kilometres to the north, at the start of this great adventure, we were welcomed to the saltwater country of Northern Australia by Larrakia elder Richie Fajo, and all of the team managers had the honour of having that physical ceremony in the water. And tonight it's my absolute delight to introduce Ghana elder Luke Wilson to formally welcome us to the country we know as the Adelaide Plains. Luke.
Sorry about that, guys. Good start. Thanks for having me tonight. So I'm here on behalf representing Kumakaral, which is a family organisation that my cousin started about 15 years ago. Kumakaral means one blood. Kumakaral played a really big part in not only reviving Ghana language and culture, but also giving us the opportunity to keep it strong and express it today. So I want to thank you guys for coming on that journey and allowing us to represent our people and culture. So I will start with a little bit of language, and then I'll translate for you. I won't leave you in the dark with that, so don't stress. Nanari Luke Koraka Wilson, Nagana, Narinjiri, Naranga, Aranda, Nadrimiyu. Mata Wichigana Gomirna, Da Wangati. Mani Nabudni, Karni Yarta Ana. Kumatama, Yachamirna, Natambati. So my name's Luke Wilson. Kuraka is my totem name, which represents the magpie. I just want to acknowledge our connection and responsibilities to our totem and how strong they are. So I'm a proud Ghana man from here in Adelaide, known as Tarrandon Younger, which represents the big red kangaroo dreaming. Also a proud Ngarrindjeri man from down the lower lakes on the southeast. Naranga from over on the York Peninsula. Ngurrindjeri in the Barossa Valley, and Aranda up in the Northern Territory, Alice Springs region. Before I welcome you, I want to pay my respects to all other Aboriginal people here, and I want to acknowledge their customs and their languages that are different to mine, and I want to acknowledge them. All other languages and cultures from all over the world. What a great opportunity it is for us, so diverse in South Australia. So it's a wonderful thing to have and share so many wonderful languages and cultures around the world. On behalf of my family and my people, I want to welcome you here to Tarrandon Younger, Ghana country tonight. Thanks again, guys, and I hope you all have a really good night, and hopefully we'll see each other again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke Wilson. Guests, supporters and solar challengers, events like this do not happen without the support of many people and many corporate partners. We'll take a moment to formalise and recognise all who have contributed to this event a little bit later in the programme. However, I would like to make special mention of Bridgestone Corporation, our event title sponsor, for whose support the South Australian Motorsport Board are extremely grateful. We'd also like to recognise the South Australian Government, whose vision and continued support helps bring this event to life, and the Northern Territory Government and the Northern Territory Major Events Company for their ongoing support as a major partner. The City of Adelaide and the Adelaide Economic Development Agency as our Experience Adelaide finish line partner and helping us host this event in the very heart of this beautiful city of Adelaide. Toyota as our Challenger class naming partner, and the CSIRO, Australia's peak scientific body, as our official scientific partner. And here I must make mention of the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenger Awards Ceremony presenting partner, this event, Altair, a global leader in computational intelligence and provider of software and cloud solutions in design simulation, high-performance computing and data analytics. Altair enable organisations in all industries across the globe to compete more effectively and drive smarter decisions in an increasingly connected world, all while creating a more sustainable future. A fitting partner for this award ceremony this evening. Thank you to them. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Honorary Consuls General, South Australian Motorsport Board members, South Australian Motorsport Board Chief Executive, Mr. Mark Warren, senior representatives from Bridgestone Corporation, Bridgestone Asia Pacific and Bridgestone Australia, in the persons of Tatsuya Yoshida, Seigo Hata and Heath Barclay, and representing the Central Region Toyota Australia Regional Marketing Manager, Andrea Doby. Please join me in thanking all of our event partners for their support and attendance this evening. As we meet in celebration of the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge, we must acknowledge that in our truly international competition of outback adventure and scientific innovation, this event is recognised worldwide as the pinnacle of intellectual endeavour in the brain sport of solar challenges. And as the original and largest event of its type, we make no apology that this is the most extreme, the most difficult, and the most demanding of them all. This evening, we have not gathered to celebrate the achievements of the few. We have gathered to celebrate the achievements of all you, all who have completed an amazing journey through our magnificent country. The science, technology, and engineering we celebrate is, of course, front of mind, but the adventure of travel and the overland crossing of Australia is a pioneering adventure into and through the ancient heart of this magnificent land. We have many guests here tonight, folk from diverse countries who have come to share our passion, and many who have come to see what they need to do in preparation to attend a future event. And in case anyone didn't notice, this is an event of extremes, and in many cases, an event that is a life-changing experience to many who experience it. It's been hard, it's been grueling, and it's not been without its dramas. But hey, if it was easy, there would be no stories to tell, and I'm sure we all have many of those already. And it's always an amazing experience to be surrounded by bright young people themselves themselves, looking at the culmination of their passion and, to many, the culmination of a dream to participate in this great event. Truly a great adventure of dreams. In fact, we should recognise that there are no losers. Before you leave this evening, I invite the manager of every participating team to collect a small token of our appreciation for the effort you have put in to your efforts with this event. You all deserve a great cheer. The atmosphere in Adelaide has been electric, and our visitors have no doubt been inspired by the passion radiated by the teams who have attended. And the street parade this afternoon was, well, it was magic, wasn't it? It was magic and a fitting farewell to our great adventure. And for those of you who have not experienced the little drive in the country most of us have experienced over the previous week, here are some highlights of that epic journey. How good was that? And I'd like to thank our social media team for putting that together. Solar Challenges, it's at times like this we are able to show our stakeholders the passion and energy we have for this event, bringing the world to our doorstep and showing the world what our country, our state, our city has to offer. While solar cars run on sunshine, the event relies on its commercial partners to keep running. And it's delightful to see our title sponsor, Bridgestone, bring so many of their members here today to show them what we have. Please welcome Mr. Heath Barclay, Managing Director of Bridgestone Australia and New Zealand, to offer some thoughts of his own.
Thank you, Chris, and good evening, everyone. What an amazing video. I too would like to acknowledge the many special guests we have here this evening, and particularly the South Australian Motorsport Board, Mark Warren and his team, who have done an amazing job in the 25 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge, and the wider and enormous Bridgestone World Solar Challenge community. It gives me great pleasure to speak on behalf of Bridgestone Corporation, title partners of the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. I'm honoured to be here tonight to celebrate you all, recognising your passion, innovation, ambition and initiative. Whether you're a competitor, a volunteer, an avid supporter, or a fellow partner, thanks for your commitment to sustainable mobility, your commitment to a better future. To the 1,000-odd members, congratulations on making it to Adelaide. Regardless of your result, taking part in the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge, one of the toughest engineering events in the world, is a milestone you should be proud of. And finishing the 3,000-kilometre journey, a significant achievement. In Darwin last week, the Bridgestone team and I were filled with great pride and excitement as we waved you off. We are so proud to be part of this incredible event and excited for the bright future of the industry and society. We have witnessed the thousands of hours of passion, collaboration and innovation come to fruition. This will no doubt reshape the way we move in the future. I speak on behalf of all Bridgestone teammates throughout the world when I say we share the same passion. This is why we continue to innovate alongside you, developing new technology like Enlighten, and invest in sustainable motorsport, including this incredible event, the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. For 12 years, Bridgestone has proudly stood as the title partner of this event and have a commitment till 2031. Why? Because this embodies everything we believe in: progress, passion, and purpose. It inspires the next generation of engineers, of leaders, and it fuels our drive to advance sustainable mobility, not only in Australia, but across the world. Congratulations once again, and thank you for your passion, for your commitment to shaping a better future. I look forward to welcoming you all back to join us in 2027 for the next incredible Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Heath Barclay. Fans, guests and solar challengers, in a few moments I will introduce Mr. Sago Hatter, Vice President, Sales and Marketing of Bridgestone China Asia Pacific to assist with the presentation of the Bridgestone E8 Commitment Award. But what is the Bridgestone E8 Commitment Award? Towards 2025, Bridgestone is evolving as a sustainable solutions company. Born of their enduring values, Bridgestone's personal E8 commitments to support the realisation of sustainable society are energy, ecology, efficiency, extension, economy, emotion, ease, and empowerment. 8 important headings. We are delighted to recognise that our 2025 Solar Challenge teams are committed to many of these in many ways. In energy, in helping to realise carbon neutral mobility. In ecology, for advancing the use of sustainable tyre technologies. In efficiency, for maximising vehicle efficiency. And extension, for the innovation that keeps the world moving ahead. And I'm sure there's room for emotion in that mix as well. The Bridgestone E8 Commitment Award recognises teams who best align with one or more of these E8 commitments. And 3 candidates have been nominated for this important award and presented to Bridgestone Corporation for consideration. The nominees, in no particular order, are Onda Solare, Onda Solare addressed the goals of empowerment, ease, emotion and extension. Their car has fully composite suspension and was equipped with an AI assistant that was trained in the event regulations and the control stop closing times. A multi-generational team who communicated well within themselves and with the organisers. The second nominee was the Iron Lions High School. The high school team, whose students have enthusiastically embraced all aspects of the event and embraced the goals of empowerment and emotion. And the third nominee was Newman. Who presented a beautifully executed car, and they were a really friendly team who spread joy and excitement wherever they went. They helped other teams, even when their own team was dealing with their own challenges. And this addresses the goals of empowerment, emotion, and extension. And I'd like to invite Hatta-san to come to the stage as we announce the winner of the 2025 Bridgestone E8 Commitment Award. Which is the Iron Lions. And if a representative of their way. Congratulations, Iron Lions. I'd now like to invite Alex Quirk, the Sales Director, Australia and New Zealand, representing Altair, the presenting partner of the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge Awards ceremony, to take the stage. But before he does so, let's all learn a little more about Altair, how Altair support the solar car community.
If only I knew about this capability when I was on the team, we would have been so much better.
The tools that Altair has developed are bar none the best in class that we've seen over the years to help students really accelerate their development time, explore different design solutions, but then also evaluate them in their CAE systems.
Because we realize the power of the experiential learning with student contests and competitions, Altair supports students through free software for any competition they participate in.
And the student package is fully functional. It's not a pared down version of what you'd get in the real world. It is the real full-powered tool that these students are very fortunate to have access to at no cost from Altair.
From data analytics to HPC to composites optimization, structural lightweighting, electromagnetics, you name it. Teams with no experience, teams with little experience, and teams that have been using it for years are all on level playing field because of the intuitive nature of the software.
Software like this is great for achieving your vehicle goals. For example, if you want to save a lot of energy in your vehicle, you can use software like this to reduce mass.
We use Altair HyperMesh for topology optimization for the rear suspension geometry, and we use Altair's wind tunnel for the aerodynamic studies.
Through the Altair software, we are able to do iterative design without having additional costs. It's very intuitive, and we gain real-world experience that we could utilize in real-world challenges that companies face.
In the end, it doesn't matter if you're doing mechanical, electrical, anything really. You're gonna eventually have to design a part that is physically in the real world. Having that available in college while you're learning that type of stuff, real beneficial.
Every tool that you're able to use to design a car like this is something that you'll be able to use in a job. Learning those skills makes us as engineers more valuable to our employers and gives us experience with professional software that we can do high capacity things with. Altair especially was really easy to use and really powerful and quick for what we needed.
For the engineers getting this experiential learning opportunity, utilizing Altair's tools are going to keep up with the pace of technology, continue to push the boundaries to make this world as good as it can be.
Okay, thanks Chris, and thanks to the Altair marketing team who have made my job a lot easier. So firstly, I want to congratulate everyone that got to the start line in the first place. Massive effort in itself. Everyone who got here to Adelaide and braved the weather over the last few days. And especially big congratulations to all of our winners tonight. So I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh great, we've got a salesperson here to sell us something before we get to the awards. But I promise you I am an engineer, and what I want to talk to you about today is technology. So actually earlier this month I celebrated 15 years with Altair. And the first half of that I spent as part of the consulting group in the UK, where I had the privilege of working with some really cool and innovative projects. I worked on KERS systems in F1, road chassis for Ferrari, wing structures on the A350 and Boeing Dreamliner. So the technology that goes into these cars and the technology and the systems used to design them is all the same, and it was of real interest to me. So now in Australia, we support over 100 organizations across automotive, aerospace, defense, and medical, among many, many others. And we support customers like AMSL Aero, Dovetail, and Applied EV developing really innovative new electric concepts for aircraft and vehicles. So what makes Altair stand out, and why is Altair the tool of choice for these innovative companies? And I believe it's down to one of our key values, which is envision the future. So what does that mean? So envision the future is all about identifying what's next in the technology world and investing early and heavily before anybody else to take the edge. So, 40 years ago, this was things like democratization of simulation technology, getting it usable by everyday engineers. 30 years ago, for instance, it was integration of optimization technology into these tools to facilitate rapid iterations and automated concept designs. 20 years ago, we pioneered the concept of simulation-driven design with a tool called Inspire, which brings these capabilities to simulate and optimize into the hands of engineers and designers, bringing the design cycles forward. And over the last 15 and 10 years, I've seen personally a massive shift in the technology space towards more faster and high fidelity, but very fast technologies across finite element analysis, CFD, and even electronics and electromagnetics, making simulations possible in seconds to minutes rather than hours to days. So this enables, simulating hundreds or even thousands of design concepts per week. So what's next? Well, over the last 5 years or so, Altair has invested over $500 million in data science and AI technology. And this brings technologies like geometric deep learning into the hands of engineers. So you can now take your existing and historical simulation data and train an AI algorithm on that data and build your own custom algorithms such that you can give it a new design and have CFD results, FEA results, electromagnetic results in seconds. Now, that doesn't mean that everything that's been developed over the last 10 years is obsolete. We still see cars can't be certified until they've gone through physical crash tests. Aircraft aren't signed off until they've gone through full traditional FEA. So what it does mean, though, is that we can bring these simulation technologies further forward in the design cycles. We can fail faster. We can design more holistically and explore the design space more thoroughly. Now, Altair celebrated its 40th anniversary this year, and this will actually be the last. Some of you will be aware that we were acquired by Siemens a few months ago, and this is a very exciting change for us. Siemens has a strong leadership in CAD and PLM and manufacturing, whereas Altair's strength in simulation means that going forward we'll be able to offer a really comprehensive platform of technologies to all of you, as well as industry more broadly. And as was mentioned in the video, all of the Altair technology is available completely free of charge to every student team competing in any challenge. And obviously, World Solar is a major focus for us. So please, get in touch with me personally if you're based in Australia. Otherwise, go onto the Altair website, it's altair.com/solar. And there's plenty of materials on there to download, get a first pass of training, and learn the technologies that are really used by world-leading organizations around the world as you transition into industry and effectively become real-world ready. So, again, thank you to everybody here. Big congratulations to everybody competing this week. And thank you for the whole World Solar Challenge team for putting everything together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. That was truly inspiring, and I'm sure we've all learnt a lot more about the capabilities of Altair, and good things, I'm sure, will come out of that. Solar Challengers, guests and wonderful humans who are here tonight, we now come to the very heart of our event, our volunteers. This, I believe, is an appropriate point to acknowledge the commitment of our volunteers, everyone from our faculty, our scrutineers, our jurors, the clerk of the course and his team, the safety marshals, the red shirts, the observers, and all those working behind the scenes, no matter how small they feel their contribution may have been. Those contributions have been essential components to the whole. And I would like to ask everyone who has worked on the event to stand so that we can acknowledge you and thank you. There are a lot of you, aren't there? And if we were to count the hours that the volunteers have put into this event, I'm sure we would come very close to being Australia's largest volunteer project, volunteer commitment. So thank you very much. This evening is nothing if it's not about science and technology. Australia's peak scientific body, the CSIRO, has been involved with this event from the earliest days and now lends its name, and it must be said, their credibility to various portions of the event. Many of you are running innovative electric motors that were invented by the CSIRO. And I hope you know that amongst our faculty, Paul Guan was a member of the industrial physics program which invented that technology. And certainly we must recognise him as an expert in his own right. Paul, where are you? Stand up, say hello. There he is, he's over there. It is our custom to ask the science faculty, who have been examining every fine detail of your cars in the scrutineering space, and are best placed to recognise the innovative thinking and new ways of addressing old problems, and looking upon the status quo that appears in your cars, to nominate a team for the Technical Innovation Award. And I'd like to invite Dr. John Ward, the Chief Scrutineer, who in his spare time is the Research Director of the Energy Systems Division at the CSIRO, to announce the winner of this year's CSIRO Technical Innovation Award. John.
Thanks, Chris. As Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO has supported this event from its inception. We seek to recognise innovation. For me personally, that means working with researchers and industry, finding ways to decarbonise our energy systems, and I think that's a challenge that we are all collectively taking on in this event. For the award, innovation doesn't have to be fully implemented. Rather, we look for that core novelty that can inspire fundamental change. For this year, we have seen many interesting new concepts from our teams. The fins have returned and evolved. Though with airfoils flying through these lands for over 60,000 years, we kept looking. There are some interesting mathematics. SunSwift has used 3D printed minimal surfaces for the seat cushions. Many of the teams have used highly composite numbers of cells in their energy storage system, increasing design flexibility. We like to think that Australian ingenuity is something that brings simple, reliable solutions to problems. So we especially call out and acknowledge the specially shaped lightweight foam block that Team 20 used to significantly stabilise their car under the gusty conditions that we all saw during this event. However, for all the innovations we saw, it was both the combination of fiendishly complex design and yet elegantly simple execution of a flexible composite suspension system that avoids the usual linkages, connections, and uses composite flexibility to provide both spring and damper actions that we wish to recognise. We note this also resulted in a very lightweight two-seat cruiser with comparable mass to the single-seater challenge cars. So with that said, congratulations, Onde Solara.
Thank you, Dr. Ward. That was excellent. I'd like to make mention at this juncture of Dr. David Rand, AM, our former Chief Energy Scientist and former Head of Energy Research at the CSIRO. I did open with some remarks in the other room before you came in on this subject, but I wanted to do this here because now we're on the live stream and we know David's watching. David, we know you've supported this event since its inception 38 years ago. And as I said outside, it's disappointing. We share your disappointment. You can't be with us, and we understand that your health has precluded you from travelling. And this is the first event you've ever missed. But we know you're in good spirits, and we know you're watching us on the live stream. And we want you to know that we all wish you well. In fact, we have a little gift for you in recognition of your dedication to the event over so many years, and we'd like to present you with a token of our esteem, which will be accepted by Professor John Story. Are you going to say anything? Are you going to say anything or just accept?
Okay, I can't really add to what Chris has said, except to say, David, I hope you're watching. We all love you. We really miss you.
Thank you very much, John. We'll get that token to you, David, and we'll move on to the spirit of the event. This is quite a difficult award. The award... Oh, you absolutely do that.
I should at least show this to David. Here's our gift to you, David.
I'm pleased it turned up at the last minute. Awesome. Thank you very much, John. Yes, this event, talking to Dave Rand, this event's always had its characters, but there is one who shines in our collective memory. Many of us remember Dave Fuchak and how passionate he was, not only about solar cars in general, but the Aurora solar car team in particular, but also about this event, which he promoted heavily at every opportunity. And in our turn, we often supported his many travels around the world where he would use Aurora to promote not only Aurora, but also promote the World Solar Challenge. Sadly, David died doing what he loved. He was on one of his travels and his heart gave out, but his memory lives on in this award, which is presented by the science faculty and senior officials for outstanding achievement in the spirit of the event. And I'd like to ask Professor Story, who's already here, Professor Story, that eminent astrophysicist, raconteur, and our chief scientist, to make the presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris. There's another person who couldn't make it tonight, and that's PVC Pat. They were looking forward to coming, but their plans changed and they've simply asked me to say hi. Pat is also pleased at how many of you remembered to use their preferred pronouns this year. But now I'd like to say a few words about aerodynamics. An efficient solar car has to move forward with a minimum of air resistance. Now, aerodynamics is actually very simple. All you need to do is pick up each little piece of air that's in front of you, move it aside, and then after you've gone, put it back exactly where you found it. If it's still moving after you've gone or has turbulence, it must have kinetic energy. And where did that energy come from? It stole that energy from you. So to be efficient, we need to gently push each little piece of air aside, keep it close to us, and then let it fill in behind. As it does that, it actually moves us forward. Anyway, enough physics. We all have a lot to do if we're to create a sustainable future, and we don't have much time to do it. We need to embrace and to create the big ideas. And we also need to be efficient. To best make progress, we need to smoothly push aside what's in front of us. Remember to enlist those who remain close to us. Then, as they come around to fill in behind us, watch as they actually help us move us forward. However, creating unnecessary turbulence simply steals our energy. We need all the help we can if we're to create a better world. Importantly, let us remember that it's not just you pioneers, you wonderful solar teams at the cutting edge, who are pushing us along. Our progress relies on help from many people who surround us, people who quietly do their job of helping us move forward towards a better world. For decades, the solar cars have been helped to the starting line by many people, even though we might not know it. For example, the Northern Territory Motor Vehicle Registry and the mechanical scrutineers might, at first sight, seem like an obstacle that has to be overcome. On the contrary, they're with us all the way, moving us along. They want you to be safe, but they have never put a red sticker on a car and simply walked away. No, they help find solutions. This year it was Scott at the MVR who knew where the best parts suppliers were in Darwin. He rang around for you, and he rang a mate who was able to manufacture some parts at the last moment to help a team get mobile. Along with Nick, Ellie and Joe at the mechanical desk, they went out to Hidden Valley and worked long hours to get every single team to the start line. They all went above and beyond. And so, it's with great pleasure that I present this year's Spirit of the Event Award jointly to the Mechanical Scrutineering Team and the staff of the Motor Vehicle Registry. I'd like to call upon Nick Jones and others from those teams to come forward and accept the award.
David Fuchak, it was always very good to me, so it means a lot to receive this. These guys did an excellent job, and I'm really proud of everyone that came through scrutineering this year. You all did a really good job, so thank you so much. and I hope you had a good time.
Oh, how we love surprising people. Thank you so much. Well deserved. These guys went above and beyond, and those that were in Darwin will realise what happened in late nights and overnights and all of the elements that came together to get some of the teams on the start line. And as John said, we got everybody on the start line. That's tremendous. Sorry. Next, we move to the PR and Media Award, because in the new paradigm of social media, we're often sometimes so wrapped up in our own stories, we sometimes forget to share our reasons for being. And it's only only fair that we support each other in this ever-developing world of PR and social media, and we're pleased to recognise outstanding effort in that regard. And tonight, I'm delighted to invite Danny Kennedy and Saul Griffith to come to stage and make this award, give the citation and make the award. Danny and Saul, welcome.
Thank you everyone, and I think it's really important that we recognise storytelling and lift up this communications piece of the work, because we as humans become the stories we tell ourselves, and you all and the pioneers like John Story, who started on this crazy race 40 years ago nearly, have told the world that they could drive electric and they could even do it on sunshine, and that was mad when they started saying that. And the second race, they turn up with electric hub motors and show the world with deeds, not words, that we can actually start doing it seriously. All the innovation, all the things we need to communicate better. And so I invited my friend Saul Griffith up to share this award, because he's a fantastic engineer and communicator. Got a great book out right now called Plug In, if you haven't seen it. Founder of Rewiring Australia and Rewiring America, and a bunch of companies that have, you know, IP and the Mirai that was sitting out there with the electric vehicles on stage in the Victoria Square. And we want to just recognise the communication before we announce the winner of this award.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny. 30 years ago, I was your age. Unfortunately, I didn't get to be in this event. But 30 years ago, I was aware that climate change was serious and real. So I went off to MIT, a little technical school down the road from Harvard, and I did a PhD there, and then I went on to Silicon Valley, where I spent 20 years starting technology companies in clean energy, in wind, in solar, in heat pumps, in induction cooktops, in energy storage, and it was an amazing time. Every single component for the future we need is embodied in the cars that you all built for this event. You have renewable energy generation, you have energy storage, you have advanced motor controls, advanced power electronics and inverters, and all of the computation required to knit those basic technologies into the future that we need. After spending my time at MIT and in Silicon Valley, I actually took the last 5 years to go into politics and communications. So I've now written, this is my 4th book on electrification, because as we know, electrification of everything is how we will solve climate change. The winning team is from a country. Sadly, you know, a few years ago, we thought we were on target for 1.5 or 2 degrees. With recent political events, it now looks like we're heading towards a 3-degree world. For the Dutch, that will be a pretty tough thing. Their highest mountain is only 40 meters high, I think. 200, sorry. But it's not the mountain that you're worried about, it's the rest of the country under sea level. Unfortunately, with these recent political events, we now have to do the best storytelling of our lives. There were people who were able to tell stories to create the ambition of Paris for 1.5 degrees, and I worked with thousands of people on making the Inflation Reduction Act. That was the United States' big climate policy. And I truly learned what I wish I had have learnt when I was your age, that it is necessary to be an excellent engineer, and it is just as necessary to be an excellent communicator and an excellent politician if we are going to achieve this world we need. So I'm delighted to be giving this storytelling award, and it is about storytelling. Danny said it well, because we now have 1,000 more diplomats for telling of the story of the future that we can have with your wonderful efforts. Thank you.
Yeah. So, the winner is from a team who went the extra yards to help tell stories, hosting a global journalist who actually, because of her feed to the service that she works for, that you shall know by name, called Reuters, was able to get more coverage and more hits in television and radio and elsewhere than previous events all around the world, from Poland to Belgium to Australia and everywhere. And we really appreciate that they stepped up. All of you have stepped up to talk to the journalists, to the media, to tell your stories, to communicate with the communities. But University of Michigan did a stellar job, so congratulations for the PR and Media Award and communicating so well. Thank you.
Well, it's quite the story, to cross the outback. Like, it's literally a life adventure, and it's really hard to tell all the stories, all the hours, and everything that goes into building every single part. And, sometimes it's a part of solar racing that is not really appreciated, is, the time and the, all the stories that go behind this. And, this year I've had an amazing team that has allowed me both to do all the mechanical stuff, but to capture both the art and engineering together. And that's something that we need to keep on doing. And through this great event, it was a great chance to do it. So I want to inspire all the students to join this event and to not only do engineering, do art, do both of them together, and do this crazy challenge once again. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Danny. I have two words. Go blue. Excellent. Thank you to Danny Kennedy and Saul Griffith. Thank you. That was very nicely done. Next, we turn to the Safety Award. One of our most difficult jobs is trying to keep you all safe and educated, and we expect teams to put effort into the safety plans and procedures they build relevant to their own entry. And nobody knows the individual issues like the team that owns them, and we feel that event safety is important enough to have its own award. And I would like to invite faculty member Bart Demoutier to give the citation and make the presentation. Bart.
Thanks, Chris. The Bridgestone World Solar Challenge is a tough event. Teams travel over 3,000 kilometers through the vast Australian outback, with most participants experiencing it for the very, very first time. This year was a particularly challenging one, with the weather conditions ranging all the way from pleasantly sunny to monsoons. An adventure of this magnitude can be very treacherous, and if we're not careful, things can go wrong. We have a tendency to focus on the safety of the solar cars, but there are many more support and event vehicles on the road besides the solar cars. And people do things. People do things like hurt their toes, because they're not wearing proper shoes, or they become dehydrated because they don't drink enough water, or they become ill because they don't wash their hands properly, or they'll roll down a hill because they hop out of a safety car without looking around first. Safety is about so much more than building a safe solar car. It is a mindset. It's about how you operate. It's about team culture. In order to assess team safety this event, we went far beyond your safety plans and documentation. During the course of the event, we all kept an eye on how you conducted yourselves. We did this at Hidden Valley, during scrutineering, at control stops, and on the road. And by we, I mean mission control, safety cars, faculty, control stops, pretty much everyone involved in the event. Our Chief Safety Officer, Paul, consolidated all feedback and personally went through all of the observer logbooks. The team that receives this year's Safety Award has demonstrated a holistic approach to safety, combining thorough planning, engineering-led safety enhancements, and strong on-road discipline. Their commitment to driver protection and consistent positive feedback across multiple safety categories makes them the standout team. In particular, we note their strong safety plan, their excellent focus on safety and tidiness at Hidden Valley, and their notable driver roll cage safety design improvements. We also note their strong overnight camping safety discipline. And finally, we consistently received positive feedback for overtaking safety and convoy communication. The team that receives the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge Safety Award is Team Eclipse ETS.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Bart, and congratulations to ETS from Montreal. Next up, we have the Rinstrom Precision Weight Award, and I'd like to invite Brodie Melford, the sales engineer representing Rinstrom, to come to the stage to make the award. The award is made to the team that has the vehicle weight measured at scrutineering closest to the figure they declared on their own roadworthiness certificate, which was presented as part of their pre-event documentation. Traditionally, there have been some interesting disparities in here. This year, the winning margin was 600 grams, 0.2%. And the winner is, they probably know this, they probably know what their numbers are, University of Michigan. Thank you, Brodie Melford, and thank you, Rinstrom, for looking after our precision weighing in all of our operations. This is it. Now we come to the celebration of excellence in our major classes. I conceived the cruiser class to bring you a challenge where efficiency, style, and practicality were just as important as outright speed, meaning that just like the real world, designers had that most interesting of tasks, predicting what the end users, their customers, or in our case, our judges, would see as a more attractive proposition than the competition. This addressed our desire to bring green to the mainstream and encourage the public to consider the way they think about the cars they drive and the fuel that powers them. This fourth iteration of the cruiser class came with some big changes. In particular, the practicality judging was made in Darwin, not in Adelaide. And with the first past the post being the primary determinant of success, it made the cruiser class much easier to understand and much easier for the adoring public to follow. And I'd like to ask Dr. Dave Snowden, Dr. Cruise himself, to join me on stage to present the first Cruiser Class Award. Our third place cruiser entry with a practicality score of 76.4 and an overall journey time of 47.2 hours. Third place winner is Ondo Solare. Thanks, Dr. Cruz. Well done, Ondo Solare, and thank you to Dave Snowden. Our next trophy will be presented by Vince Ciccarello. Oh, there he is. Who fought hard against this, but we're insisting he comes up and do it. Vince is our clerk of the course, and many of you will have been speaking to him from his little hidey hole in our Mission Control Centre. Vince, you've done a tremendous job, and thank you very much for all you've done for the event over the years. Vince will present our second place cruiser class trophy to Solar Ride from Estonia. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Solar Ride. And to round out our cruiser class this year, I'd like to welcome Director of Motorsport of Bridgestone Corporation, Todd Uchita, to present the award to the winner of the 2025 Cruiser class, who, with a practicality score of 67.2 and a elapsed time of 43 hours and 49 minutes, is VTC from Hong Kong.
Yeah, I always ask to speak a little if we have win anything. Sorry about my broken voice. I work in the shed too late last night. Distinguished guests, fellow solar challengers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the event officials and organizers. Thank you for your tireless efforts in bringing together teams from across the globe and inspiring us all to push the boundaries of what is possible. A special thank you goes to the title sponsor of the event, Bridgestone. Your support and commitment to advancing green mobility have been instrumental in making this event a reality. We must also extend our profound gratitude to our own team's sponsors, from providing critical components and cutting-edge materials to offering technical expertise or promotion opportunities and financial backing. Your belief in our vision and generous contributions were the solar power we need for our ambition. We would also like to express our sincere appreciation to RMIT for providing us with the invaluable technical, logistic, and manpower support. Mike and Dave, could you please come up? Your expertise, resources, and hands-on assistance were crucial in overcoming many of the challenges we face throughout this journey. The collaboration and friendship between us have been a true highlight of this experience, and we are forever grateful for RMIT and your support. I would also like to thank VTC, Vocational Training Council. The belief in our team and continuous support have empowered us to dream big and achieve this. The resources, guidance, and encouragement VTC have provided have been the backbone of our success. Our journey would not have been possible without the strong foundation laid by the Institute of Vocational Education, Engineering Discipline, IV Engineering, and the Hong Kong Design Institute. As one of the mission of VTC to provide vocational and professional education and training to support sustainable development of industry, our students are well equipped with the skills, knowledge, and creativity needed to design and engineer a world-class solar car. Come on. I had an emoji of hand clapping here. Also, it's only going to be another 30 minutes, so it's okay. It's going to be quick. Also, to our Soviet team advisors and alumni, Alexander, Wong, Kevin Cho, Jerry Lee, I hope you're watching, KK, Ty, Bell, Zachary, Samson, team. You're not, I definitely missed someone, but forgive me for that. I'll make it up to you when I'm back to Hong Kong. Thank you for your ongoing support and mentorship over the years. You were with us in the Hidden Valley Garage and also on Student Highway. And this trophy is a shared success with each and every one of you. Where's the camera? Where? Oh, sorry. One more thing. And, sorry. One more thing. Sorry. A little more than 10 years ago, a young man joined his first challenge in Australia with Sunswift. Sunswift's here. Where's Sunswift? And he dreamed to take this wonderful experience back to his hometown, Hong Kong, and finish the race with the team. Luckily, he met this incredible group, Billy, Angus from Ivy, who are trying to build their first car and dream to finish the challenge. This year, the team's hard work, dedication, and teamwork have made this dream a reality. A dream come true for myself. I'm incredibly proud to lead such a sometimes unreliable but passionate and talented group of individuals. Before we finish, just really one more thing. On a personal note, I would also like to thank my wife, Helene, who I lie to every 2 years, claiming it's going to be my last race, so I could be here with you and get off my home duties. She always pretended to believe me. She flew over to Adelaide with my sisters and our two beautiful children, Jocelyn and Kieran, this year to support and also make sure I come home straight after this. Now that I have won it, I better come up with a better excuse next year. Thank you once again to everyone, and see you all in the next 3,000 kilometers. Thank you.
Is that it, Kelvin? You finished? It was delightful to meet Kelvin's wife and young children yesterday, so it's all good. Thank you so much, and thank you, Chita-san, for presenting that award. We now move on to the Toyota Challenger class, and please welcome Andrea Doby, the Manager, Regional Marketing and Support for the Central Region, Toyota Australia, to present the next awards. As is now usual at the leading end of the field, there was an extremely close and passionate game of psychology, wit, and willpower, which unfolded right from the start in Darwin. But let that not diminish the enormity of the effort required to win a place on this stage. In the Toyota Challenger class, in third place with an overall time of 35.41 hours and an average speed of 85.3 kilometres an hour, team number 8, Inoptus from Thank you, Optus, well deserved. I'm going to ask Andrea Doby from Toyota to stay on stage to present the second place trophy in the Toyota Challenger class with an overall time of 34.15 hours. Compare that to the previous team. And an average speed of 86 kilometres an hour. Compare that to the previous team of 85.3. Team Twente, number 21, Team Twente from the Netherlands. Well done, beautiful people. Well done, Twente. And thank you, Andrea from Toyota, for making those presentations. And the final award of the night, I'd like to invite Todd Uchida-san back to stage to make the presentation to the winner of the Challenger class, the Toyota Challenger class, the team who, despite making it look easy, have put so much effort into this event, completing the course in just under 35 hours with an average speed of 86.6 kilometres an hour. From the Netherlands, please welcome 03 Brunel.
give the floor to Elias, the team manager of Nuna 13, I would like to take a very quick opportunity to speak on behalf of the entire Brunel Solar Team community. Many people in the audience will probably know or remember our team coach, astronaut Wibbe Ockels, who passed away just over 10 years ago. Unfortunately, only a few weeks ago, the Brunel Solar Team was saddened by the sudden loss of Tibbe Lucassen, a beloved and very active alumnus of Nuna 11, who tragically passed away at the age of just 26. The Brunel Solar Team would like to dedicate this victory to Tibbe and to Wubbo, and their physical journeys have ended, but their stories live on with us in the way we remember their laughter, their dedication, and their spirit on this incredible adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorrit, for those nice words, and thank you for this prize you gave us. I want to thank Bridgestone, Toyota, and the Motorsport Board for making this event possible. It was indeed an incredible edition. Furthermore, I want to give a special thanks to Chris Selwood for his hospitality, Abby Lane for her unwavering support, and of course, Safety Paul for always looking after us. Applause. Also, I would like to thank all the others who have supported us. Our alumni, family, friends, partners, and give a special thanks to our main partner, Brunel. And finally, a thanks to our team, because guys, what a journey did we have. Applause. Because I remember the day we met like it was yesterday. 18 strangers, all nervous, standing together to start what seemed like an impossible challenge. The task that was ahead of us was clear. Build a solar car, a winning solar car, that was not only bigger, but had to be finished in 2 months less than usual. But it was that very day we met, we made a choice. A choice that instead of being overwhelmed, we decided to focus on innovation, knowing that that would be the key ingredient to overcoming the odds. Because after all, it has been 8 years. And innovate we did. We had several innovations, including, for example, implementing a new production process, and for the first time using pre-preg carbon fiber to construct the body for our car. Or rethinking our steering mechanism and making it much simpler. And of course, using active aerodynamics. And not only building one aerodynamic fin, but designing, ideating, and testing a second fin, and testing it in a wind tunnel, refining it in every detail. But just the innovation was not enough. It was also the execution that mattered. Our team has showed perseverance and resilience. Perseverance. We have worked long hours, nights, weekends, and holidays. And though I'm still disappointed about our aero team, who had promised me personally they wouldn't work on New Year's Day, they did. We showed resilience because we had setbacks throughout the entire process. Things went wrong, like receiving the faulty production molds or having technical failures during the race. And each time we showed we couldn't give up. We dug deep and keep moving forward. In the end, we reached the finish line. But what truly made us winners was not only reaching the finish line, but was the journey that brought us there. It wasn't just about the car. It was about the skills we gained through the setbacks we overcame and the team spirit that brought us together. We now have a toolkit of life skills that will serve us far beyond this project. This is our story, but I'm sure it is similar to many of the stories of the other teams. Today, we all stand before you after what I'm sure was an incredible journey for us all. And that, in fact, is what not only makes us winners, but makes us all winners. Winners not in this competition, but winners in life. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your passion. Finally, fans, followers, guests, solar challengers, before we go, as I've said, we have seen that solar cars are built of passion. Solar cars run on sunshine. However, without the vision and support of our sponsors, we are unable to sustain those endeavours. And I'd like to take a moment to thank again those partners who've believed in us, who've believed in the event and the continued vision, particularly those who have supported the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. Principally, I would like to invite Mr. Heath Barclay, Managing Director, Bridgestone Australia and New Zealand, to accept a token of our appreciation. Thank you, Heath. And we have a token of appreciation if the representatives are here from the following organisations to accept a token in recognition of their support of the 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. Northern Territory Major Events, Northern Territory Government, the City of Adelaide, the Adelaide Economic Development Agency, Toyota, CSIRO, Altair, RAA, Eagers Automotive, Smart Energy Council, McLaughlin CB, Morn Team Automotive, Simba Car Hire, Hilton Adelaide, and our support partners ANSYS, Canon Business Services, Coca-Cola Euro Pacific, NT Power and Water, Rinstrom, SA Water, Science Alive, Solcast, and Telstra Careers. If representatives are here, they can collect a token of our appreciation after. Please join us in showing our appreciation for the support of our sponsors that they provide. In closing, I would like to thank you all. Thank you for bringing your own spirit of adventure to Australia. To our volunteers, our officials, observers, and the staff at the South Australian Motorsport Board, we thank you all. Now, I'm going to get into trouble for this, but Shane, Shannon, Abby, and Naomi for holding the team together. Come on. Stop hiding in there.
This is for Naomi, yeah?
Yeah. Thank you so much for all you've done over the past 2 years. It's been an interesting ride and you've done a tremendous job. You and your team have done a tremendous job. Thank you very much. In many ways, the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge is an event that defies definition. Together, we have learned to plan, to build, to take risks, deal with failures, and not rest until reaching our goal. And beyond that, to deal with the unexpected. We've shared our ideas, our food, our water, memes, T-shirts, spare parts, and the components of life itself, our time, our wisdom, our experience, and our beliefs. The most precious thing about this event is not the cars. Yes, they're amazing, but it's you, the people, that build them, test them, race them, and turn them into legends. The adventurers, the challengers, the cruisers, your willingness to cross a continent to find yourselves at the other side, because after all, that's what it's all about. The adventure was always the goal. Thank you. You've given what you are, beyond what you do, and as members of our International Solar Car family, we are all very proud of you. Farewell 2025 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. Thanks for the lessons. We wish you a safe onward travel and look forward to seeing you in 2027. And before we leave, I'd like to remind each team manager to collect their token of participation down here on the right-hand side of the stage to you. Let's see that video again. Thank you.